What if divorce is a blessing? So, what we see often is, and we hear, and I've been through it, divorce sucks at first. But a lot of times, divorce is the one thing that makes a man really reevaluate all he's given up on in life, how he's become a nice guy, a pleaser, he's walking on eggshells, and he's miserable. Yet, I made a commitment, I made a vow, even if your wife's horrible. And so, I would argue many times, divorce is a wonderful gift, a blessing, because it forces you to do the work, to make an honest assessment of where your life is, where you've lost yourself, you've become a dad, a provider, you've forgotten to be a friend, you're not a lover, you're in a sexless or near sexless relationship, and you're not leading. And so the wake-up call, when she says, I want space, I love you, but I'm not in love with you, I want a divorce, I want a separation. We won't even go into the fact that often that's because she is braver than we are. Because let me tell you, my first divorce all those years ago, I had 2 kids. I wasn't going to get divorced. But I sure as hell wasn't happy. And I sure as well wasn't being completely honest with myself. But I had 2 kids, and, I had it better than most. So here's what I see as an end result when guys really do the work with divorce, or the threat of divorce. About half the times, they create an amazing life for themselves, a version 2.0 life, in which their wife joins them in a 2.0 relationship, loving, connected, deeply intimate, complete opposite of what you got going on now, okay? And in the other half, those guys get divorced and become happily divorced men who are grounded, calm, confident. You get that either way if you do the work. But it's funny because we see divorce as this horrible thing, when in fact it's often an amazing gift. It's the meaning you assign to it. Almost 100% of the men I work with end up with better relationships with their children when they're going through this. Think about that. Why? Because they were paying more attention to their phone, to fantasy football, to sports, to work, and were never actually really present with their children. They revitalized the friendships that have died off, because that's another thing nice guys do, is they put everything in front of themselves, including their friendships, okay? And they wonder why they're unhappy. They don't have friends, they don't do anything for themselves, they prioritize everyone over themselves. So, this is one of the reasons the divorce crisis or relationship crisis is actually sometimes the greatest gift a man is given, regardless of the outcome. And if you do the work, you're going to end up having a much better life moving forward, with or without her. And it takes this crisis to get you to be honest with what's going on or not going on in your relationship, and to move forward. And I want to ask you, don't you deserve to have a great life? Don't you deserve to show your kids what happiness looks like? So here's the funny part. Like I said, it's a 50-50 proposition, but you've got to go first. You've got to lead yourself before you could ever lead your wife. You've got to become the grounded, calm, confident man she fell in love with that you've lost, because you've lost yourself. So when we do coaching with men, it's not to save their marriage, not to save their relationships. It's to help them save themselves. to become the guy you used to be, that you've lost along the way on the corporate rat race, climbing the ladder, forgetting about the family, forgetting about your friends, forgetting about yourself. So if you're feeling disconnected in your relationship, there's distance, you can ignore it till she says, I want a divorce, or you can start working on yourself for yourself so that you know you've done everything you could to save that marriage. Because your kids are going to ask you that. And you've got to be able to say, yeah, I did. All right, guys? Contact information's down below. If you have any questions or you'd like to talk, shoot me a note. Have a great week.